Okay, Kamen Rider build. Episode 14, The False Kamen Rider. My tummy hurts. I ate too much Burger King last night. So check out that video. Okay. So this episode was oddly straightforward. Absolutely, absolutely, Bloodstock was definitely Isurugi Soichi Isurugi. Absolutely, that happened. Let's see. Pandora's box can be used as a weapon, just like you hold the panel up and it like reflects an attack. But apparently, that attack gets reflected into like a can of soda that later on Build can use to turn into like a new power up, but only if he can figure out in the laboratory which combo works best. And they tried a couple like Gorilla Diamonds and whatnot, but Rabbit Tank was the only one that really worked. The bottles the Bloodstock stole from the previous episode, along with Pandora's box, were all fake. However, it looks like Sento is definitely on the idea like, this guy is going to try to take things, I should build fake ones, and then he says that he got all but two of them, so maybe he'll just use these two and pretend like he still has the winning ones just in case I lose the fight. Which, pretty good plan, all things considered. More octopus light. Bloodstock yells out and during the fight like, I hate octopus. Like, okay, we get it. It's funny because seafood. Um, we get some backstory on Mizora. Mizora was Isurugi. That's the surname. Yeah, Mizora Isurugi. So we get backstory on her. She was held captive by Faust. I'm gonna kind of jump around like a couple spots here. I don't have a lot of notes on this one, guys. It's a good episode, but not a whole lot happens. Okay, so we get backstory on Miss Mizora. She was held captive by Faust to purify all of the bottles that Build uses to transform, only to be rescued by Isurugi Soichi, who was secretly Bloodstock. And the reason she was rescued and the reason why Sento was rescued... Hang on. Yeah. So the reason she was rescued by Soichi is so that she could continue to purify the bottles, but she won't do it unless she actually feels like it's the right thing to do. Which makes sense because in I think the previous episode she says that she didn't want to purify one of the bottles, but Sento had to talk her into it. So it makes sense. It's consistent with her character so far. Okay, so there's a rain fight, which is really good. Basically, Sento decides to confront Soichi Isurugi, Bloodstock, and they go to the same area where they first met, and it's still raining somehow, so they should look into that. And it's a pretty good scene. Pretty good. I've seen people say that the scene was kino, which is like a Russian cinematography term. Not sure if I would call it kino, but it's pretty close. Uh, I think the last kino scene in Kamen Rider that I've seen personally was in X-Aid when the one guy, Paradox, drowned. I'm tired. Okay, so they're fighting in the rain. The transformation noise is completely like muffled out by just the rainwater. Which, I gotta say, these nighttime rain fight scenes, fantastic. Keep those up. Those are really nice. I also like how Sento starts losing the fight because while he's fighting, he gets all these flashbacks to all the times that Soichi Isurugi, the cafe owner, was so nice to him and even says, like, welcome home. Which was a good scene. And I feel like if they hadn't introduced that in like episode 13, it would have probably had more of an impact. But whatever. It still had some good impact. So Sento loses that fight and is knocked back. And Bloodstock is there with his gun and is like, you know the reason? You know the reason why I had you here? It wasn't because you were like the best. The reason I had you here is because Mizora liked you. Okay? So I I puppeteered this entire situation so that the Smash would show up and you would fight it and you would start losing and then Mizora would help you purify the bottles. That's the whole thing, Sento, is you're not the hero. You were just playing Kamen Rider. You're not Kamen Rider. And Sento looks so devastated and like collapses down and is just like defeated. Banjo shows up and he's like, well, I'm gonna fight you, Cross Z Dragon. And like, just one shot and he's de-transformed and falls over. And Bloodstock's like, yeah, anyway, I'm the best. And Sento's like, well, yeah, are you good enough to withstand the delicious and refreshing taste of a Pepsi? And he pulls out a soda can and he clicks it open and it's like Rabbit Tank Sparkling, which I'm getting some Gaim vibes from this. Anybody else remember Kamen Rider Gaim with all the soda? Yeah, this series is ruining my mind. So he transforms using a soda can into. Just say I'm not a fan of this form. It has like a white lightning bolt on it. Bloodstock decides to fight this by sending out two Cobras, which are absolutely from Kamen Rider Ryuki or Kamen Rider Dragonite. Just the Cobra contract beast. I've seen screenshot comparisons, and even the tips of the tails are just absolutely the swords that one guy used. So he sends out two of those, and yeah, Sento defeats them, and he uses like a vortex finish, which creates like a crazy like funnel system that attacks Bloodstock using like not even the full kick, but just like the bubbles that come out of it, which sure. Yeah, so like Bloodstock's defeated and he's like, you know what? I sometimes I am impressed by you guys. You know, I tried raising you, kinda. And yeah, by the way, Night Rogue is Gintoku, so use that information. You can have the Pandora's box. If I ever need it, I'll just steal it back from you. And bye. And then he jumps, untransformed, jumps like over buildings. And it's like, why? How? What? So I heard he might be a Martian. He was definitely the astronaut. He's using the chow at the ends of fights and at the ends of conversations that Katsuragi was using. And also that build used during the X-Aid crossover. So it's possible that he is Isurugi and is also Katsuragi and is, I don't know, he was also the astronaut that placed his hand on Pandora's box, but I think that was probably already stated a few episodes ago. So it is interesting that it was like a murder mystery whodunit, like who is Bloodstock? But it's looking more and more like the answer is every single one of the possible answers all at once. And it's like, who is Bloodstock? Is he Katsuragi? Is he the cafe owner? Is he the astronaut from Mars? And it's like, the answer is yes. He sure is all of those things. So, like, that's cool. Not really sure what's gonna happen in the next episode. I'm really looking forward to Heisei Generations Final. I keep seeing ads for that at the beginning and end of each of these episodes, and I really want to watch it, and I'm not going to be able to until like March, and I don't like that. So, anyway, see you guys later. Click.